I never thought one person could turn an entire group against me. But that's exactly what happened. IT started slowly. Whispers, strange looks, people going silent the moment I walked into the room. At first, I thought I was overthinking, maybe they were just stressed, maybe it was coincidence. But then things became undeniable. My best friend, Alyssa, stopped answering my calls. My coworkers avoided sitting near me. Even my own cousin unfollowed me online. I kept asking myself the same question. What did I do wrong? The truth was, I did nothing. Someone else was pulling the strings. His name was Ryan, a guy I trusted. Someone who smiled to my face while stabbing me behind my back. I didn't know it yet, but he had a plan, a hidden motive that involved destroying my reputation completely. And the worst part, everyone believed him. One night, when I finally learned what he had been telling people, my hands literally started shaking. Because it wasn't just rumors. It was a calculated setup, a plan he'd been preparing for months. And that was the moment I realized, if I didn't fight back now, I would lose everything. This is where the truth starts to come out. The first real sign that something was wrong happened on a Tuesday morning. I walked into work like normal, holding my coffee, rehearsing the tasks I needed to finish that day. But the moment I stepped inside, every conversation in the room just stopped. People who used to smile at me suddenly looked away. Some even moved aside, like they didn't want to stand too close. I forced a smile. "Good morning," I said. Silence. I sat at my desk, pretending it didn't hurt, pretending I wasn't seconds away from crying. But then I overheard two coworkers whispering behind a shelf. "She really did all that?" That's what Ryan said, and he wouldn't lie. My heart dropped. What did he say about me? At lunch, nobody sat with me. People were talking about me openly now, loud enough for me to hear, but not loud enough for me to confront them. I finally built the courage to ask one of my closest friends, Alyssa, what was going on. She refused to even make eye contact. "Just stay away from me," she whispered. "I don't want drama." Drama? What drama? I felt sick. The world around me felt unreal, like I was stuck inside a nightmare that everyone else understood except me. But then, as I walked out of the office, unlocking my phone to distract myself, a message flashed across my screen. Anonymous. "You should know what Ryan's been saying about you." My heart started pounding. Below the message was a screenshot, and when I saw it, I felt my entire body go cold. It was a conversation. Ryan telling people the most disgusting lies about me. Horrible things that made me look manipulative, fake, and dangerous. Things that could completely destroy my life. But why? Why would he do this? I didn't know the answer yet. But I knew one thing for sure. This wasn't random. This was planned. And I was finally ready to find out what his real motive was. I stared at that screenshot for almost a full minute, my hands shaking so badly I could barely hold my phone. Ryan, the person I trusted, the person who acted friendly every single day, he was the one behind everything. But the part that bothered me most wasn't the lies themselves. It was the confidence in the way he told them. As if he knew no one would ever question him. As if he had already prepared for every possibility. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying every interaction I'd had with him. How he always asked about my projects, how he paid attention to what I liked, how he casually brought up my personal life, but only when other people were listening. Everything suddenly started feeling like a setup. The next morning, I reached out to the anonymous sender. "Why is he doing this?" A minute later, they replied, "He wants something you have." I froze. Something I have? But what? A promotion? A project? Someone's attention? I read the message again and again until the next text came. "You need to check your email now." My stomach tightened. I opened my work email, expecting some simple update or warning, but instead, I saw an email chain I had never been included in. Ryan had attached fake proof of my mistakes, edited screenshots, lies about my work, false complaints, and he'd sent them to someone important, our department head. That's when it all clicked. He wasn't trying to ruin my friendships. He wasn't just spreading rumors. He was trying to replace me if I looked bad enough, if everyone turned against me. Management believed I was unreliable. He would get exactly what he wanted. He wanted my position. My spot. My achievements. And he was willing to destroy my entire reputation to get it. The anger inside me started boiling. But right when I thought it couldn't get worse, my phone buzzed again from the anonymous sender. "If you want real proof of what he's planning, meet me tonight." My heart pounded. Someone out there knew the whole truth. Someone who wanted to help. And tonight, everything would finally begin to unravel. The entire day felt painfully slow. Every time my phone vibrated, I jumped. Every whisper in the office felt louder than usual. I kept replaying the anonymous message in my head. If you want real proof of what he's planning, meet me tonight. By 7 p.m., my nerves were completely shot. I grabbed my jacket, forced myself to breathe normally, and headed to the place they chose. A small, crowded cafe across town. A safe place. Public. Neutral. I pushed open the door and scanned the room. No one looked familiar. Then I spotted her. A woman sitting in the back corner, hood up, looking around nervously. She made eye contact with me and motioned for me to come over. My heart started beating faster. "Are you the one who messaged me?" I whispered. She nodded quickly. "Sit. Before he sees you." He, Ryan? Was he watching me? The thought made my skin crawl. She leaned in, keeping her voice low. "I shouldn't be telling you this, but I can't watch him ruin you like this." "Why me?" I asked. "Why is he doing all this?" She pulled a USB drive from her pocket and slid it across the table. "This has everything," she said. "His group chats, his fake screenshots, the plan he made weeks ago. He's been preparing to take over your position for months." My hands trembled as I held the drive. "But why are you helping me?" I asked. She swallowed hard, eyes warm but guilty. "Because I used to help him." A rush of heat shot through my chest. "What do you mean, help him?" She looked down at the table, ashamed. I didn't know what he was planning at first. I thought he just needed information for a project. But then he started twisting things, lying, manipulating people. I confronted him last week. I leaned forward, and her voice cracked slightly. "He threatened me. Said he'd make me the next target if I opened my mouth." That's when I realized how dangerous he really is. My stomach dropped. This wasn't petty jealousy. This wasn't childish drama. This was calculated sabotage. "He's not stopping," she warned. "He told someone today he's going to finish the job by the end of the week." A cold chill ran through me. Finish the job? What else could he possibly be planning? I looked at the USB in my hand. This could finally expose him, but it also meant I was stepping directly into his trap. Before I could ask more, she whispered, "You need to be careful. He's watching everyone. And if he finds out you know the truth." She didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. I already knew. Everything was about to get much more dangerous. The moment I got home, I locked the door behind me. Not because I normally did that, but because tonight, for the first time, I felt like someone might actually be watching me. I placed the USB on my desk. Just looking at it made my heartbeat become louder. This little device could expose everything Ryan had done, but I also knew, if he found out I had it, he'd stop at nothing to destroy me completely. I slid it into my laptop. It loaded instantly. Folders, dozens of them, all neatly organized, like a criminal keeping trophies. I opened the first one. Screenshots. Hundreds of them. Chats where Ryan twisted my words. Messages where he pretended to be me using fake accounts. Conversations where he warned people about me, pretending he cared. In one chat, he wrote, "She's becoming a problem. I need everyone to distance themselves so she gets isolated. Then it'll be easy to replace her." I felt sick. I opened the next folder. Audio recordings. My hands went cold. I clicked one. Ryan's voice filled the room. "She doesn't even know what's coming up. EY Friday. Management will think she's unstable. All I need is one more push." Unstable? He wanted them to fire me, not because I did anything wrong, but because he wanted my position that badly. But the final folder, that one shocked me the most. It was labeled Phase 3, Final Move Phase 3. There were phases? I opened it slowly. Inside were two documents. The first one was a fake complaint letter with my name on it, accusing me of bullying him. He had written a false report, ready to send to HR. But the second document, that one made my blood run cold. It was a script. A literal script of what he planned to tell management during a meeting scheduled in 2 days. Every word was designed to emotionally manipulate them. Every sentence was crafted to make him look like the victim. And at the bottom, he wrote, "After this, she'll be done. No one will believe a word she says again." My entire body was shaking. This wasn't just rivalry. This was obsession. And it was personal. I closed the laptop and buried my face in my hands. I needed to expose him. I needed to stop him before he destroyed my entire life. But how? Who would believe me now? My phone buzzed suddenly. making me jump at a message from an unknown number. He knows someone talked. Be careful. My breath caught. Someone talked. The girl from the cafe? I texted back instantly. Is she safe? No response. Another message came instead. He's getting desperate. And desperate people make dangerous moves. Dangerous moves. The words echoed in my mind. This wasn't over. It was about to get much worse. The next morning felt different. Not the usual silence, not the whispers, but something heavier. Like the air itself knew something was about to explode. I walked into work, trying to act normal, even though my heart was beating so hard I could feel it in my throat. I kept thinking about the evidence, about the recordings, about the script Ryan had written to destroy me. But I also kept thinking about the message. From last night, he knows someone talked. That meant he knew someone betrayed him. And people like him don't handle betrayal quietly. I reached my desk, opened my laptop, and tried to breathe. Not even 2 minutes later, bang, the office door slammed open. Ryan walked in. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't pretending anymore. His steps were sharp, controlled, dangerous. My stomach twisted. He wasn't acting like someone who felt guilty. He was acting like someone who was cornered and ready to strike. He scanned the room until his eyes landed on me. And the look he gave me, it wasn't anger. It was victory. He smirked. Oh no. He walked straight to the department head's office without a word. People whispered. Some glanced at me with pity. Others with curiosity. I tried to stay calm. But inside, panic was crawling up my spine. 10 minutes later, my phone buzzed at a message from the same unknown number. He moved the meeting up. He's doing it today. Right now. My blood turned to ice. He was executing phase 3 early. He must have known someone exposed him. He was trying to strike before I could defend myself. I grabbed my bag and the USB, and I stood up. My legs felt weak, but I forced myself to walk toward the office. Before I reached the door, I heard voices. Raised voices. My department head sounded confused. Ryan sounded emotional, almost crying. I leaned closer. He was already performing his script. I've tried everything. I didn't want to say anything, but she's been targeting me for months. I can't handle the stress anymore. My jaw clenched. He was so good. So believable. Those fake cracks in his voice, that shaky breathing. If I didn't know the truth, even I might have believed him. I pushed the door open. Both of them froze. Ryan turned, wiping fake tears from his cheeks. You're just in time, he said quietly, like he was the victim. She deserves to hear this too. I stepped inside and closed the door behind me. Actually, I said, voice steady, you deserve to hear what I found. He blinked. For the first time since this started, I saw something in his eyes. Not confidence, not smugness. Fear. I placed the USB gently on the desk between us. This, I said, is everything. The department head looked confused. Ryan looked pale. What is that? He stuttered. I stared straight into his eyes. Proof. Silence filled the room. Cold. Heavy. Unbreakable. This was it. The moment everything finally began to turn. The room fell into complete silence. Ryan's fake tears dried instantly. His confident act shattered. He stared at the USB on the table like it was a bomb. My department head looked between us, confused but alert. What exactly is on that drive? He asked. I didn't look away from Ryan as I answered. Everything he's been doing behind my back. The edited screenshots, the fake accounts, the lies, and his entire plan to get me fired. Ryan's jaw tightened. That's ridiculous, he snapped. She's lying. But his voice cracked. His hands were shaking. I calmly opened my laptop, plugged in the USB, and turned the screen toward my department head. Folder after folder, recording after recording, screenshot after screenshot. I clicked the first audio file. Ryan's own voice filled the office. By Friday, management will think she's unstable. All I need is one more push. My department head's eyes widened. Ryan's face drained of color. I didn't say that, he blurted out. But the truth was already out there. His voice was unmistakable. I opened another file. The PDF titled Phase 3, Final Move. The script he wrote, word for word. Exactly what he had been saying moments earlier. My department head leaned back slowly, staring at him. You planned this? He asked, voice cold. You tried to sabotage her career? Ryan shook his head frantically. It's not. No, she planted that. She's framing me. I opened the last folder, the group chats, where Ryan bragged to his friends about making everyone hate me. About isolating her first so the fall hits harder. About taking her position once she breaks. There was no escaping anymore. My department head stood up. Ryan. My office. Now. Ryan tried to breathe, but panic clawed at his throat. This isn't fair, he whispered. She ruined everything. No, my department head said sharply. You ruined yourself. They left the room, but I could still hear Ryan's voice in the hallway. The panic, the excuses, the desperation. For once, he wasn't in control. For once, the truth was louder than his lies. 20 minutes later, my department head returned alone that he closed the door softly. It's over, he said. He won't be coming back. My chest loosened for the first time in weeks. Relief washed through me so quickly my eyes burned. But I need to say something, he continued. You should have never had to go through this, and I'm sorry we believed him instead of you. I nodded, unable to speak for a moment. Everything hurt, but it was finally over. When I walked out of the office, people watched me, but not with suspicion. This time, they were quiet, guilty, ashamed of how quickly they had believed lies instead of asking me the truth. Alyssa approached slowly. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I should have trusted you. I smiled faintly. It's okay, I said. And for the first time, I meant it, because now, I wasn't the victim of Ryan's plan, that I was the one who ended it. And I walked away knowing one thing. No matter how strong lies are, the truth hits harder.